Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast. 2 months ago, the headlines screamed, ChatGPT is destroying our brains. AI is lowering your IQ. We're all getting dumber. In fact, one Australian newspaper article said that education is no longer education. We have been lobotomized by AI. The alarm came from an MIT study that showed that students who used ChatGPT had terrible recall. 83% could not remember what they'd written, compared to just 11% who couldn't remember if they used their own brains. Case closed, right? AI makes you stupid. Except there's something buried in that 200-page study that most headlines missed. And it's something that changes everything. Today, what AI is actually doing to our kids' brains, why schools are accidentally making it worse, and the one thing that you need to teach your children before they touch ChatGPT again. Stay with us. G'day, welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. It's Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We are Justin and Kylie Coulson, the parents of 6 children who do from time to time use ChatGPT and other forms of AI. And I'm not just talking about the kids.
I was recently having a conversation with my nutritionalist and asking him whether AI was a good way for me to count calories.
Right.
And he said it's not very reliable. And as we continue discussing, I never thought of this, but people will take a photo of the plate of food they're eating and then ask AI to calculate the calories.
That can't be accurate.
It's not.
No.
It's not. He said it will do a fairly good job, but if you're really serious about it, it's not going to come close.
Yeah, like AI can do stuff, but it can't do everything. It's not.
Well, I never thought of that. And so I said, no, that's not how I'm using it. I said, I'm actually weighing all of my food and then I'm asking it to give me the information I'm looking for. And he said, oh, you're actually doing a great job. You're doing exactly what you need to do. So he gave me a good pat on the back.
Yeah.
It does have its uses.
You've got to do the work for it to work, which is what today's podcast is all about.
So what is this study that you're citing from?
Okay, so there's some MIT researchers. They found that it's not whether you use AI that matters, it's when. So that ties in exactly with what you're hinting at. They tested these two groups. One group used their brain first and then used AI. So they did the thinking, they did the planning, they did the work, and then they plugged it into ChatGPT to refine the work. Whereas the second group, they went, I'm going to use AI, and then I'm going to try to think about what the AI is giving me. So it's ChatGPT, then brain. The brain to AI group, their EEG scans, their brain scans, showed increased neural activity. So there was better attention, there was greater planning, more memory processing. And then even when they used AI, their brain stayed engaged because they knew the work, they knew what they were doing, they used their brain first. But the AI first group that then used their brain, they just never recovered. Even when they stopped using AI, their cognitive engagement flatlined. It actually dropped. Like it just stopped working.
And that correlated with the conversation I was having with my nutritionalist.
Exactly.
I said to him, I don't want to use an app that's just about counting calories because I'm still learning. I'm still trying to understand what fuels my body and where I'm going to best get those foods from. So when I eat something and it says to me, you know what, that's pretty dense in calories.
Right.
I can then say to it, what would I do differently if I want to still feel satisfied? And it's been such a really good tool for me to use as I start to understand this process.
Yeah. So how you enter the AI interaction will determine whether or not it improves and amplifies your thinking or whether it replaces and subsequently diminishes your thinking. There's a difference between thinking with AI and thinking by AI. And so Alfie Cohn is somebody that I've had on the podcast a number of times. You've become a fan because you've heard him speak so well. He puts it like this. He says using AI to write for you is like bringing a forklift to the gym and having it lift weights for you. The weights get lifted, but you don't get stronger.
He also said by rushing to make use of ChatGPT, schools may not just be overestimating the capacities and capabilities of artificial intelligence, but underestimating the essence of education.
Yeah, I like Alfie Cohn. The terrifying part for me is that schools are legitimately rushing into it. I read a recent investigative report in The Australian a couple of weeks ago, and oh my goodness, this thing, university's changed a lot since I was there, is all I can say. They found up to 95% of university students are now using AI to complete assignments and exams. And not just occasionally, I mean constantly. We've got a couple of kids who are at university. They do their exams at home. Like there's software that monitors whether anyone comes into the room or whether you're cheating, apparently, but they're literally doing their exams at home. One student, his name was Hayden, in this Australian report, graduated with a high distinction. And when he was asked how much of his final year he outsourced to AI, he said, and this is a direct quote, all of it, 100% of my coursework and 100% of my exams. So he went from being a C average student to an A plus student in 18. No, he didn't. He didn't get smarter. He didn't become an A plus student. ChatGPT did the work for him. And I've got a couple of friends who are still university lecturers. I obviously am not lecturing at uni anymore. But they basically said, yeah, we're not actually lecturers anymore. We are human detectors of plagiarism. But there's no point pointing out the plagiarism because everybody is doing it.
Yeah. A conversation I just recently had with someone was the acknowledgement that if schools don't pick up their game, that teachers literally lose their roles in the classroom because AI is doing everything.
But here's the thing, though. These students are graduating and they are going on to become doctors and engineers and accountants, and they have degrees that they did not earn. You've got pilots who, well, I guess you've got to get into the plane and know how to fly the thing. But I think that it's terrifying. I think that it's really, really worrying.
So are we just talking about university study here?
No, in that same report, in the Australians' analysis, they talked to a 13-year-old boy named Cameron. He said, in year 8, about 24 out of 25 kids in my class use AI for everything. My teachers don't blink an eye if I get 100%. I don't even bother to fake wrong answers anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
So I mean, I would say that schools are not just ignoring it. I would say schools are enabling it.
Yeah.
You've got surveys showing that 40 to 60% of teachers are now using AI to create their lessons. And get this, they're using AI to grade assignments.
So I was under the impression, based on what teachers have told our children in the past, that they actually had software that could determine whether or not their students had used AI and what percentage of their work was AI generated.
That's right.
Is that not the case?
It is, but a lot of teachers aren't doing anything about it. They're just leaving it be, and therefore nobody's thinking and nobody's learning. It gets worse as well. There was a study that was published in January last year, January 2025. So The Lancet's a good, high-quality medical journal. They found that doctors who used AI tools regularly became less skilled within 6 months. So their diagnosis accuracy dropped when AI was taken away from them. They became over-reliant. They became less focused. They became less motivated to think critically. And so if that's what's happening to doctors, this is what's happening to our children's brains as well.
Turning to mush.
Brain rot.
Perhaps this is an obvious question, but why are kids doing it?
If you're a student, why would you do it?
Because I don't want to do the work.
Yeah, so I think that's the number one thing. I keep on talking to teachers in staff PD that I do around the country. If the work doesn't feel like it has any purpose, you can't expect the students to be motivated to do it. Full stop, end of story. No matter what you do, if students do not see some value, some purpose in the work, they are not going to have any desire to be there and to be doing it.
So for me, the hardest part of any project is actually starting it.
Getting started, yeah, that's right.
Like literally.
Yep, break through the Earth's gravitational pull like the space shuttle, 10 minutes of massive energy expenditure, and then you're in orbit and you're firing. But getting the kids out of the atmosphere and into orbit, the hardest thing. And
so a couple of times I've actually used AI to just generate a starting point for me because I can't...
That's an unusual thing, though, because usually once it starts for you, it'll give you another prompt like, would you like me to do this next? And it makes you feel...
No, I say, well, I kind of like the gist, but this isn't me. And so then I throw back my ideas and I'm like, I like this better.
Yeah, but the conversation continues and it feels like you're doing the work, but the AI is actually doing the work. You're just arguing with the AI. So I've used AI a lot over the last little while. I don't use it for my writing anymore. I just refuse to. I absolutely make sure that I've done the work first. If there's something really, really important or something that I really need to refine, I'll ask it to do some refining for me. But I will not let it do the work for me anymore because it sounds like AI. And I've been really public about not wanting to sound like AI because too many people out there are using it, and you can't even read an opinion piece in the newspaper now. It's all done by AI. Let me go back to why else they're using it. Everyone else is doing it. So not only is it a purpose thing, but everyone else is doing it. And actually, I think schools are encouraging it. I think teachers are using it, administrators are pushing it, tech companies are profiting from it. It's in big tech's interest for the kids to be using it. So after the break, a couple of quick minutes on what we can do, the solution, what we're supposed to do to help our kids to navigate a new world of AI in a way that does not rot their brains. Stay with us. We're back. It's the Happy Families podcast. If you're enjoying the pod, please like it, share it, leave a rating and review. Tell people about it. It's how we get the word out and make families happier.
So you're suggesting you have some solutions and some scripts.
I have both. The MIT study is really clear. Use your brain first, then use AI. That works. Use AI first, then use your brain. That doesn't work. So the rule that I think that everyone should have in their house is as follows. Before you touch ChatGPT, you must attempt the problem yourself. We call this productive struggle. We call it developing distress tolerance or frustration tolerance. When kids struggle with things, when they write an awful first draft, when they try and when they fail, that's where the learning happens. And then and only then can you use AI either to refine or challenge or extend your thinking, not to replace your thinking, to amplify it. Even then, I think that we want to be hesitant. I think we want to be really, really careful with this. I'd rather the students do all of it.
So what does this look like in practice?
Let me give you a prompt. I've jotted down a prompt here. This is the recall prompt. So you could prompt AI as follows. Before you give me any suggestions on how I can improve this, I need to demonstrate my current understanding. So you tell the AI, you tell Chat, Claude, whatever it is, Gemini, ask me to recall and explain my main thesis, the supporting evidence, and my biggest concerns from memory, and don't give me any new input until I've successfully articulated these three things. Now, I don't think many students are going to do that.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
You're basically saying, make me tell you what I'm going to do in detail before you give me any promise, before you give me any new input, let's make sure that I'm understanding things
but then
properly.
Why would you bother?
Well, you would bother because then you can do the second prompt that I've got, and that is the challenge prompt. Okay, so the first one's about recall. The second one's about challenge. I've written this essay. I've demonstrated that I know what I'm talking about here. I don't want you to rewrite it. I want you to ask me 3 hard questions that expose weaknesses in my argument. Make me defend my thinking. So if you use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or any of the others like that, that's going to deepen and amplify thinking. That's going to make you better. It's like if I'm going to say, I've got this exam coming up. Here's all the material that I need to know. Hit me with 10 questions.
Yeah, but human nature is to find the path of least resistance.
Not necessarily. Look at the way you're working out in the gym. You're not going for the path of least resistance. That's sitting on the couch eating chocolate chip cookies and milk and watching TV.
Yes, but I'm going against my nature because my nature would tell me to do exactly that.
Nature or not, you're making a decision to be effortful. And what I'm arguing is that the effort pays off. You're seeing the effort paying off and you're glad for it. Students are going to struggle to see the effort paying off. They just see all their friends doing nothing and then hanging out on Fortnite or Roblox or Discord. And they're like, well, I just want to use chat as well. I just want to use AI as well. This is going to damage their brains. So here's the script for the kids. I know school feels like it's jumping through hoops. I know everyone's using AI. I know it's faster. I know it's easier. But you're trading away your ability to think. Right now, your brain is developing neural pathways that you're going to use for the rest of your life. And every time you let ChatGPT think for you, the pathways don't form. So then you can use Alfie Kohn. It's like taking a forklift to the gym. The weights are getting lifted, but you're not getting any stronger. So just say to the kids, you can use AI, yes, but brain first, always. No shortcuts. Because what happens when you're a doctor and you can't diagnose without ChatGPT, without the AI? It's going to be a disaster. That's the conversation to have with the kids. Low probability play. I don't think that it's going to work for everybody, but it's the best that I've got because this is a tough problem.
What would you say to schools if you're struggling with this in the classroom?
I would say to schools to go analog, not digital. And I would say teach exactly the same principle. I would also, school leaders are unlikely to listen to parents around this, but what I would also say is that I would be demanding face-to-face exams. Don't let anything happen online. With schools, that's likely to happen anyway, right? Everyone's at school. It's not like they're doing exams from home. I would be demanding oral assessments, more kids standing up and learning how to articulate in front of an audience. I think it's one of the most important skills they can have anyway. Like for your child to be able to do that, that's a powerful skill, and we don't do enough oral stuff. And I'd be looking for assignments that do not just require text output, like an essay or a lab report. I'd be looking for assignments that require a demonstration of human involvement. That would be the things that I'd be looking for. My sense is that a lot of teachers are just horrified by what's happening, but they feel completely and utterly powerless. But that's the standard, and I think schools should be held to it.
So I guess ultimately, just like all of the challenges that we have in family life, they're watching us. They're watching how we're interacting with things. And AI is no different, whether it's social media, technology in general, or artificial intelligence. It's an opportunity for us to just take stock of how we're using it and ensuring that we're modeling a positive experience for everybody.
Yeah, here's what's at stake. We are raising a generation that may, I don't want to sound too alarmist, I'm going to say may never learn to think critically. That's probably going too far, but we're certainly handicapping their ability to think critically, solve problems independently, engage deeply with ideas.
But I don't think we can blame AI on that entirely. I think that that's been coming for a long time in our school system based on the current model we're working with. Yeah,
no doubt. The challenge really, though, is let's get our kids thinking. So I would suggest this. Before your child uses AI for anything, whether it's their schoolwork or something they're writing, whatever it is, they just have to attempt it themselves first. Brain first, then AI. That's the order always. And if they push back, just remind them, the forklift lifts the weights, but you don't get stronger. You choose, do you want to think or do you want a machine to think for you? Because once you lose that ability to think, it's really, really hard to develop it, to refine it, to build on it. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that this has been an informative and encouraging conversation. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media, with Mim Hammonds providing additional support. If you'd like more info to make your family happier, visit happyfamilies.com.au.